So then we decided to try out something new. We still had our backpacks on us, so of course we could just open our backpacks. So we opened the backpacks, and what we found was quite unsettling. We didn't put it in our backpacks ourselves. I think something else put it in our backpacks, because we had like this giant jar of like, mine had like a jar of salt. Another person had a jar of the same salt. The other person just had a jar of sugar, since they had a sweet tooth, of course. And I'm just like, when did I get salt? And they're just like, I have salt too. And then the other person was just like, I have sugar. But I know exactly that I brought that with me. So then we were just like, what is happening? So then we decide that we should all stay together. Finally, we decided on something greater. And as I promised in the story, we would go in the third direction. So yeah, we did actually go into the third direction, and we found another one of those weird rooms. We opened it, and I swear we heard something giggle. We shut that door, and this time we actually started running. But we were spreading the salt everywhere, since we forgot to just put it back in the backpack. So we were spraying the salt everywhere, and that was creating crazy sound. So now we were actually cooked. Because if you hear something giggle, and you're trying to get away, but you don't want it to notice you, or you really wanting to shake salt around... Yeah, I think we all know how that sounds. That was me, by the way. Well, that noise I just made in the voiceover thingy. And what I found is pretty crazy. I finally learned it. When we hear creepy stuff in a tunnel, we shouldn't go deeper. Because now it's like 30 minutes. Like a whole half an hour if we would have walked back, but it actually felt more like 10 minutes. And we were running like as fast as we could. We were running like crazy, and then thank God, like bless us, that the salt finally ran out, so we wouldn't like do some crazy ooga booga JoJo adventures looking guy would show up and jump us somehow. And we finally made it back to the start of the tunnel. We ran back. We ran to everyone, and we were going crazy. We were just like, you guys won't believe what we just saw. We have crazy stuff happening in that tunnel. And they're just like, where'd you get that jar from? And we're just like, we have too much to explain. So for like a whole 20 minutes, we had to like explain all this to him. Well, to all the others. And they were all just like, okay, you guys may sound insane, but I actually kind of believe y'all. So we basically got, we all got together and we went back in the tunnel. This time we went like hours of just walking through this tunnel. And then eventually, we started jogging to make it faster. But someone just had this random idea that jogging was apparently going to make it feel like, I don't know. They were just trying to waste more of our energy that way. So we went and all of a sudden just started going deeper and deeper. I'm pretty sure that was that whole person's plan. Until something crazy happened. So, we were running. Well, yeah, we just started running again. And we heard a noise, like the same giggle. And we're just like, okay. So if we hear a giggle and we're like almost hours into this, we are actually deep fried, cooked and boiled and filleted on the side. We are cooked. And then we heard another giggle, And then another giggle the farther we went in. And then we finally decided, guys, we need to stop. So we decided to finally, like, start heading back. We started heading back. And we just couldn't find our way. Literally, we couldn't find our way. We finally made it back. But guess what the mystery actually was? The doll was in the front of the entrance. So I'm pretty sure that was a haunted doll. The next day, the next week, we did not see that doll back. Until the week after that, we saw something quite disturbing. The doll was... Okay, warning, you might want to just, like, skip, like, a minute or so if you're sensitive or have thoughts about, like, that, like, you have, like, if you have a disorder that, like, makes you want to eat things, like eating disorders, or I forgot what it's called, where, like, you just eat metal nonstop, you'll eat anything. We saw a bunch of metal on the ground. We saw a bunch of metal, and they were all, like, grinders, like cheese grinders on the floor. And you know what we saw on the doll? The doll's face looked like it's been grinded. And if you're wondering, whoa, this sounds real cap right now, what do you want about? The doll was split in half. Well, guess what? We came in, it was not split in half. But it was the same doll, don't worry. We checked the back. And, like, what we saw was so unsettling. And if you're wondering why was it on the tree, it was hanged by the neck on the tree, the doll. So now we was creeped out, twins, or whoever's watching this. So I think, also, by the way, we were not hallucinating. No schizophrenic comments in the comment section, bro. And guess what? Craziest thing ever. That when we took the doll down, it had a weird thing. It said, like, on the note, had a picture of a bunch of doors, and on the bottom, I read it, and it said, first room opened, second room opened, third cell opened, fourth cell opened. And if you remember all the doors that we went through, they all had, like, a number on them, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, guess what? Remember those doors we opened? Well, guess what? I'm pretty sure those doors were cells to something. Don't know, maybe that's what the giggling was. So yeah, there's so many conspiracies in this, but I'm gonna end the story here, because that is the end of the story. Just kidding. You're staying for about, like, 3 more minutes. And the doll, once we did everything, like, notes, whatever, so we had this magnificent idea. We went into, like, a little meeting room. We took the doll apart using a knife, and we started, like, dicing up the doll. And we found something inside. So it was a jar of salt. Like, a tiny container of just salt. Same salt we spread around. And it said, on the back of it, it said, sorry I could only collect some of it. some of it, they collected the salt that was on the floor. So I'm pretty sure there's like some top demons in there. Don't know. But like, after like, why I'm calling this the backroom story, the backroom story, is because, well, it's like pretty much endless. And we pretty much found what was crazy to me after everything I've said. While we were in the meeting room, while we diced up the doll, this time we looked in the arm. There was salt in both arms. Both arms, there was just salt stuck in it. So I'm pretty sure that's the rest of the salt that they were talking about. So our idea to that was, what if we put salt? What if we like connect the doll back together, put it back hanging up on the tree, but put salt around it? And if everything weird stops happening, it's definitely the doll. But guess what? What made us get freaked out is that it worked. Yeah, it worked. But that night when I went to bed, yes, I used to sleep. Don't worry, I don't take sleeps. I don't take showers. I don't touch grass. Let's not get into that. And while I was sleeping, I woke up to this noise coming up from my attic. It was like a bang, 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 like someone knocking. I heard this for like a whole week straight. And my attic is right at my door. No, like, it's just right in front of my room. Like, take one step out of my room, look up, and on the ceiling you see my attic. My attic's door. That's creepy. Oh, and then after like 2 weeks, it wasn't there anymore. And during that 1 week time, I went back to report to my friends that I heard something from my attic. But not every night I would hear it. It's like every 2 nights. But my friends said, actually, the same days that it didn't happen to me, my friend that was the original that came with me, the first friend that I told you about in the story, guess what? Well, she had knocking that same week too, on those same days that I didn't get it. So I think it was rotating between us. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story. If you guys want more yapping stories, if you want, this is optional, you can subscribe. Please like the video. It helps me get my motivation back up to do this type of stuff. Bye. I'm under your bed.